This is the complete aerial arsenal of Imperial Japan during World War II. These aircraft tell the story of ambition, dominance, and collapse across the skies of Asia and the Pacific. Fighters. Nakajima Ki-43 Nate. An early army fighter with fixed landing gear, extremely maneuverable but lightly armed and quickly outclassed. Mitsubishi A6M Claude. The first carrier-based monoplane fighter in the world, establishing air superiority over China. Kawasaki Ki-10 Perry. The Army's last biplane fighter, mostly relegated to training and secondary duties. Nakajima Ki-43 Hayabusa. Ultra-light and agile, it excelled in dogfights but lacked protection. Nakajima Ki-44 Tojo. A compact interceptor built for speed and bomber interception. Kawasaki Ki-61 Tony. A liquid-cooled European-style fighter that surprised Allied pilots with its speed and armor. Mitsubishi A6M Zero. The symbol of Japanese air power. Its extreme range and agility allowed Japan to dominate the skies early in the war, but its lack of armor made it increasingly vulnerable. Nakajima J1N Irving. Originally designed for reconnaissance, it was later converted into a night fighter, using upward-firing weapons to ambush bombers under cover of darkness.
Kawasaki Ki-45 Nick. A twin-engine heavy fighter that became highly effective in night interception roles, especially against bomber formations. Mitsubishi J2M Raiden. Designed purely as a high-altitude interceptor, sacrificing maneuverability for climb rate and raw speed to counter B-29 raids. Kawasaki N1K George, one of the most capable Japanese fighters ever built, combining strong armor, heavy armament, and impressive maneuverability late in the war.
Nakajima Ki-44 Frank. The Army's best all-round fighter. When properly maintained, it could match or exceed the performance of late-war Allied aircraft. Kawasaki Ki-100. Created from necessity, this aircraft proved exceptionally reliable and balanced, becoming one of Japan's most respected late-war fighters. Kawasaki Ki-102 Randy. A heavy fighter and ground attacker, carrying massive cannons capable of destroying armored targets and ships. Mitsubishi A7M Repu. Intended to replace the Zero with greater speed, firepower, and durability, but delays kept it from entering combat. Bombers and strike aircraft. Japanese bombers emphasized range and precision. Early successes faded as Allied air defenses strengthened and air superiority shifted.
Mitsubishi Ki-30 Anne. An early light bomber used extensively during Japan's rapid early conquests. Kawasaki Ki-32 Mary. A liquid-cooled light bomber operating alongside the Ki-30 in China. Kawasaki Ki-48 Lily. A fast light bomber with limited payload and protection. Nakajima Ki-49 Helen. Designed to escort bombers with defensive armament, but underpowered in practice. HED-3A Val. A carrier-based dive bomber with exceptional accuracy. Nakajima B5N Kate. The torpedo bomber used at Pearl Harbor, deadly in skilled hands despite outdated design. Mitsubishi G3N Nell. An early long-range bomber that proved decisive against Allied naval forces in 1941. Mitsubishi G4M Betty. Its unmatched range made it invaluable, but the lack of fuel tank protection earned it a deadly reputation among crews. Nakajima B6N Jill. A more powerful and faster torpedo bomber developed to replace the Kate in carrier operations. Yokosuka D4Y Judy. A sleek dive bomber that relied on speed rather than armor, often escaping after delivering its payload. HE-B7A Grace. A versatile and powerful aircraft capable of performing both torpedo and dive bombing missions, making it one of Japan's most advanced strike aircraft. Yokosuka P1Y Francis. A fast twin-engine bomber that also served in reconnaissance and night fighter roles due to its speed. Mitsubishi Ki-21 Sally. the backbone of the Army Bomber Force, operating across China, Southeast Asia, and the Pacific. Mitsubishi Ki-43 Peggy, arguably Japan's finest bomber, combining speed, armor, and surprising maneuverability even under heavy fire. Mitsubishi Ki-51 Sonia, a rugged ground attack aircraft well-suited for jungle warfare and close air support missions. Nakajima G8N Rita, a massive four-engine bomber intended for intercontinental missions, including attacks on the U.S. mainland. Takasuka Ki-74 Patsy, a high-altitude, long-range bomber prototype designed for strategic reconnaissance and strike missions. The reconnaissance aircraft. These aircraft provided the intelligence needed to guide fleets, armies, and bomber formations across vast distances. Takasuka Ki-36 Ida, a short takeoff and landing aircraft used for observation and coordination. Mitsubishi Ki-15 Babs, a fast courier and reconnaissance aircraft famous for long-distance flights. Kyushu Q-1W Lorna, Japan's only aircraft specifically designed for anti-submarine warfare. Nakajima C-6N Mert, a carrier-based reconnaissance aircraft so fast that enemy fighters struggle to intercept it. Mitsubishi Ki-46 Dyna, one of the most advanced reconnaissance aircraft of the war, capable of outrunning nearly all Allied interceptors for years.
Transport and float planes. Japan's island-based warfare depended heavily on seaplanes and transports to reach remote areas. Mitsubishi F-1M Pete, an observation floatplane biplane that could surprisingly engage enemy fighters. Nakajima E-8N Dave, a catapult-launched biplane used for naval gunfire spotting. Kawanishi E-7K Alf, an older floatplane design mainly used for night reconnaissance. HE E-13A Jake, the standard long-range reconnaissance floatplane aboard Japanese cruisers. Nakajima A6M Roof, a Zero fighter adapted for operations from water, sacrificing performance for flexibility. HE E-16A Paul, a rare floatplane capable of dive bombing, combining reconnaissance with strike capability. Kawanishi H-6K Mavis, a long-range flying boat used extensively during the early Pacific War. Kawanishi N1K Rex, a high-performance floatplane fighter developed to support amphibious landings. Kawanishi H-8K Emily, widely regarded as the best flying boat of World War II, with exceptional range, armor, and defensive firepower. Logistics and training. These aircraft trained pilots and sustained Japan's war effort behind the front lines. Nakajima Ki-9 Spruce, an intermediate trainer flown by thousands of future pilots. Kokusai Ki-59 Teresa, a light transport aircraft used for utility and liaison duties. Mitsubishi Ki-57 Topsy, the Army's main personnel transport aircraft. Showa L-2D Tabby, a licensed copy of the DC-3, identical to Allied transports flying on the opposite side. Yokosuka K-5Y Willow, the most widely produced Japanese Navy trainer, fundamental to pilot instruction. Kyushu K-11W Shiragaku, originally a bomber crew trainer, later repurposed for suicide missions as the war situation worsened. Kokusai Q-8 Gander, an assault glider designed to carry troops or light vehicles into combat zones. Experimental and special attack weapons. In the final phase of the war, innovation turned into desperation. Nakajima Ki-115 Tsurugi, a crude, disposable aircraft built entirely for one-way missions.
Yokosuka MXY-7 Oka, a rocket-powered human-guided missile carried by bombers and released close to enemy ships. Nakajima Kikka, Japan's first jet aircraft, inspired by German jet technology and rushed into development. Mitsubishi J8M Shusui, a rocket interceptor designed to climb almost vertically to intercept high-altitude bombers. Kyushu J7W Shinden, a futuristic canard fighter intended to counter B-29s with heavy forward firepower. Mansue Ki-98, an advanced experimental ground attack aircraft that never reached production.
This concludes our journey through the aircraft that shaped Imperial Japan's air power in World War II. From agile fighters and long-range bombers to reconnaissance platforms and desperate experimental weapons, these machines reflect both innovation and the cost of war. If you found this documentary insightful, consider sharing your thoughts and joining the discussion. History lives on through understanding.